If you are listening to these words, you are standing at the threshold of your own transformation. Understand this. Every single limitation in your life, every border you have never crossed, every mountain you have not climbed, exists not because of fate, but because of boundaries you have drawn in your own mind. The world is shaped by those who dare to push themselves again and again until the boundaries of possibility break and dissolve before the force of an indomitable will. Most men drift through life hoping for ease, for the path of least resistance, and in doing so, they never know the glory of their true power. I tell you now, if you want to experience what is truly possible for you, you must become the architect and the builder of your own limits, and then destroy them. You must push yourself until everything is possible. Life does not reward those who simply wish or want. Life hands its greatest prizes to those who've learned to persist, to those who cultivate the rare skill of pushing forward when every comfort cries for retreat. Greatness is not achieved by chance. It is engineered by a stubborn, relentless devotion to a higher vision, even when the results seem distant or invisible. Most people stop at the first sign of pain, the first whisper of fatigue. They see obstacles as warnings to turn back. The men and women who achieve greatness are those who see every obstacle as proof that they are advancing. Every difficulty is a signal that you are on the right path. If you want to become a person who can achieve the impossible, you must become comfortable in the land of discomfort. You must learn to love the edge of your abilities, to hunger for the stretch, the reach, the growth that only comes from challenge. You may think that your environment, your upbringing, your circumstances are holding you back. But the greatest prison is not physical, it is mental. The chains are not on your hands, but on your beliefs. Your life as it exists today is nothing but a reflection of the standards you have set for yourself, standards for effort, standards for thinking, standards for what you tolerate from yourself and from others. If you have lived in mediocrity, it is because you have accepted it. If you want to change your life, you must begin by changing the rules you live by. Raise your standards so high that the man you are today feels like a stranger tomorrow. Every time you push beyond what you thought was possible, you redraw the map of your own potential. And if you do this daily, relentlessly, the impossible becomes your new normal. Most people believe that effort is enough, but it is not. Blind effort is wasted energy. You must combine your effort with intention and clarity. Do you know exactly what you want? Have you written it down, studied it, visualized it so vividly that it wakes you up in the morning and keeps you working late into the night? The person who pushes themselves until everything is possible is not driven by a vague dream. He is obsessed with a vision so powerful that it drowns out the noise of doubt and fatigue. Take time right now to craft your vision. Make it specific. Make it real. And then tie your identity to that vision. You are no longer just a man with goals. You are the embodiment of the goal. Your every action, every word, every decision is filtered through the question: does this move me closer to what I have declared possible? Discipline is the lever that moves the world. Without discipline, inspiration is nothing but a fleeting spark. With discipline, you become unstoppable. If you want to push yourself until everything is possible, you must master the art of discipline. Set your priorities in stone. Remove every distraction. Refuse to negotiate with excuses. When you wake, let your first thought be of purpose. When you are tired, let your mind replay the reasons you started. Create rituals, morning routines, evening reflections, daily non-negotiables. Make your life a masterpiece of habit. because your habits, more than your dreams, determine your destiny. You will encounter pain. You will face rejection, failure, betrayal, and disappointment. These are not signs that you should stop. They are signs that you are becoming someone who cannot be stopped. Use pain as a tool. Let it instruct you, sharpen you, toughen you. Every time you endure, you add a layer of armor to your spirit. Most people run from pain and so remain weak. You must become the person who runs toward it, knowing that inside every difficulty lies a new level of strength. Develop resilience, for it is the trait that will make you outlast those with more talent, more resources, or more privilege. Remember, it is not the strongest who win, but those who refuse to quit. You must also learn to control your inner dialogue. Your mind will tempt you with reasons to slow down, to quit, to compromise. You must become your own greatest coach, not your worst enemy. Speak to yourself with authority and conviction. When you feel doubt, answer it with certainty. When you feel fear, confront it with action. The man who conquers himself has no enemy left to fear. Develop the habit of talking to yourself as a leader, as a champion, as a master of fate. Use affirmations, self-command, and visualization. See yourself overcoming, achieving, pushing further every day. The people you surround yourself with are the architects of your atmosphere. If you want to do what others say is impossible, you must seek the company of those who live beyond the ordinary. Limit your exposure to negativity and cynicism. Build alliances with those who encourage, challenge, and inspire you. If you cannot find them, read their books. Listen to their voices from history. Study their lives. Let the echo of greatness drown out the mediocrity that tries to pull you back. If you are the smartest or the strongest in the room, find a bigger room. Always choose environments that stretch you. Action is your most powerful ally. Never fall into the trap of endless planning, dreaming, or waiting for the perfect moment. Push yourself to act, even when you are unsure. Movement creates momentum, and momentum is the secret to surpassing what you once thought possible. Each day, take one step that scares you. Each day, make one decision that commits you further to your goal. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. The person who acts, who executes, who refuses to let fear freeze him, is the person who will achieve what others only talk about. Rest and recovery are as vital as effort and action. You are not a machine. You are a living mind, body, and soul. Build in time for solitude, reflection, and renewal. It is in moments of stillness that your next breakthrough will arise. Use your quiet time not for escape, but for recalibration. Ask yourself, where am I falling short? Where am I excelling? What can I do better tomorrow? The man who reflects grows faster than the man who simply reacts. If you have not achieved what you desire, it is not because the opportunity is missing. It is because you have not yet become the person who is ready for that opportunity. Push yourself not only in effort, but in character. Grow your patience, your humility, your integrity. The world may reward short-term cunning, but it reserves its greatest treasures for those who persist with honor and grit. Be ruthless with your standards and gentle with your spirit. And never forget, you are not finished until you decide you are finished. Most men surrender at the first setback. Champions keep pushing until the universe itself yields. Every impossibility is only a possibility that has not yet met a man willing to endure. Make a vow, here and now, you will push yourself again and again until everything you dream becomes your reality. The only true failure is the failure to begin. The only true impossibility is to stop before you reach your peak. Push yourself until everything is possible, and you will discover that the limits you once believed in never truly existed at all. Now, let us look more deeply at what it actually means to push yourself. To push is not to merely press forward, but to drive against the resistance of habit, inertia, and self-imposed ceilings. The average man waits for inspiration, for the stars to align, for life to grant him a gentle path. But if you study the lives of those who have risen above obscurity, you'll find one trait repeated again and again: self-initiation. They move when others are still thinking. They act before others believe. They build momentum in silence and arrive with thunder. You must choose to move forward when every part of you aches to rest. You must rise earlier, stay longer, and demand more from yourself, not because the world asks it, but because your future self demands it. There will be no applause at the beginning, no parade for your effort. But if you persist, results will speak for you. True growth is always uncomfortable. Most people have trained themselves to avoid discomfort, to back away from the edge. The secret is to reverse this instinct. Seek out the unfamiliar, the challenging, the daunting. Get into the habit of doing what you fear. Fear is the boundary that marks your old self. Every time you cross it, you expand. If you hesitate at the threshold, remind yourself, the thing you resist is the very thing you need to do most. Success is the reward for those who run toward the fire, not away from it. If you are too comfortable, you are not growing. If you have not felt challenged today, you have not pushed far enough. You must learn to set targets so high they force you to grow just to reach them. Too many people set goals within their comfort zone and wonder why their life does not change. Set goals that stretch your imagination and frighten your sense of security. Write them down, speak them aloud, share them with those who will hold you accountable. When you set your sights high, you force the emergence of new qualities, new skills, new levels of commitment within yourself. Mediocre goals produce mediocre lives. Audacious goals produce legends, but goals alone are not enough. You must transform your daily routine into a training ground. Every great achievement is the product of small, consistent victories over laziness, distraction, and self-doubt. Structure your day with intention. Know what must be done every morning, every afternoon, every evening. Don't wait for the mood to strike. Design your day so thoroughly that your default behaviors carry you forward, even when your motivation fails. If you wish to write, write at the same time daily. If you want to build a body of strength, exercise at the appointed hour. Let your routine become sacred, a temple in which your old limitations are sacrificed for your future greatness. You will be tempted by shortcuts, by easy rewards, by the seduction of rest. Remember, anything that comes quickly can vanish just as quickly. Enduring success is built on the anvil of patience and persistence. Whenever you are faced with a choice between comfort and growth, choose growth. Ask yourself, what would the person I intend to become do right now? Then do it, no matter how uncomfortable or uncertain you feel. With every correct choice, you carve away the weaker version of yourself and sculpt the character capable of anything. Environment is powerful. If you surround yourself with those who tolerate mediocrity, you will eventually become one of them. If you surround yourself with the relentless, you will feel compelled to rise. Seek out mentors, models, and communities who will push you to think bigger, work harder, and refuse excuses. Sometimes the greatest step you can take is to leave the environment that is keeping you small. Change your associations, upgrade your influences, and you will upgrade your life. Self-belief is your most precious resource. It will be assaulted by setbacks, criticism, and your own inner saboteur. Build it like a fortress. Celebrate every small win. Remember every past victory. Feed your mind daily with stories of those who overcame impossible odds. What you feed grows, what you neglect starves. Guard your self-talk with vigilance. Speak to yourself not as you are, but as you wish to become. Say, I am persistent. I am powerful. I am capable of achieving what others call impossible. The mind, once convinced, becomes the engine of your transformation. And when setbacks come, as they surely will, see them not as final, but as feedback. Every failure is a lesson in disguise, a guidepost on your journey to mastery. Most give up at the first sign of adversity, but the wise man asks, what is this teaching me? How can I adapt? How can I turn this stumbling block into a stepping stone? The man who learns to see opportunity within obstacles will eventually rise above those who complain and retreat. Adjust your strategy, but never your goal. Adapt, refine, persevere, but never abandon the pursuit. Rest is not weakness, it is strategy. Push yourself to your edge, but understand the rhythm of effort and renewal. The mind and body need periods of stillness to consolidate gains, to heal, to dream. Build in time for reflection. Each week, ask yourself, where have I excelled? Where have I fallen short? What is the next level of commitment required? Those who fail to reflect are doomed to repeat their mistakes. Those who pause to review are the ones who accelerate faster with each passing year. As you move forward, realize that you will face moments where progress seems invisible, where no one notices, where even you doubt the point of your effort. This is the invisible phase of growth, the soil in which roots are deepening, far from public view. Trust this process. Keep pushing. The harvest always comes, but only for those who have endured the invisible season without complaint. And now, as you reflect on these truths, understand the man you are today is only the beginning. Every act of courage, every disciplined day, every step beyond comfort is a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Do not be surprised when opportunities appear, when people begin to notice, when doors open that were once invisible. These are the inevitable results of relentless persistence. You cannot push yourself and remain the same. Each time you choose growth over ease, you are chiseling away at the impossible until one day it is you who others look to and say, he has done what no one else dared. The journey is not for the faint of heart, but if you commit, if you burn your bridges to mediocrity, if you push until everything is possible, you will discover powers within you that you never imagined. The question is not, is it possible for me? The question is, will I become the person for whom everything is possible? And that answer, my friend, is found not in words, but in the actions you take every single day from this moment on. As you continue on this path of pushing yourself, let us address one of the most misunderstood truths in all of personal achievement. The battle for possibility is not external. It is internal. You must first conquer the world within before you can master the world without. Every limitation you see out there is nothing but a shadow cast by your beliefs, your habits, your self-image. You cannot escape this law. If you see smallness, obstacles, or scarcity, it is because your mind has been trained to expect it. To push yourself until everything is possible, you must go to work at the deepest level on your mindset, on your attitude, and on your sense of what you deserve. Most men approach their goals with hesitation, with one foot in and one foot out. They talk about what they want, but they keep a door open for retreat, a story to excuse their failure. That is the language of the masses. Those who succeed beyond expectation burn their boats. They remove try from their vocabulary and replace it with do. They cut off all paths except the one that leads to their dreams. When you commit fully, when you decide that failure is not an option and that you will persist until you prevail, you unlock a new dimension of power within yourself. You become the master, not the victim, of your circumstances. Examine your habits, for they are the architects of your destiny. The man who wakes early, plans his day, guards his mind from negativity, and demands excellence from himself, he cannot help but move forward, even if progress feels slow. Remember, success is not found in bursts of effort, but in relentless consistency. Are you reading daily? Are you learning something new each week? Are you practicing the discipline of doing what must be done, even when you do not feel like it? If not, you are leaving your fate to chance. Push yourself to build these habits until they are as natural as breathing. Over time, they will carry you farther than motivation or inspiration ever could. Let us talk of resistance. Every time you make a serious decision to improve, to rise, to become more, you will encounter resistance. It will appear as fear, as procrastination, as the urgent distractions that demand your attention but offer no return. This resistance is not your enemy. It is proof that you are moving beyond your old self. Welcome it. Smile when it appears. Say to yourself, I am growing, and this is the price. The average man retreats at the first sign of resistance. The man destined for greatness learns to use it as fuel. He sees every obstacle as a test, every setback as a challenge to his commitment. You must also develop the habit of self-observation. Each evening, ask yourself, did I push myself today? Where did I stop short? What excuses did I make? Where did I allow comfort to win over purpose? This is the discipline of champion. It is the difference between wandering aimlessly and moving with relentless direction. The more honest you are with yourself, the faster you will grow. The more accountable you become, the more unstoppable you will be. And remember, you will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. Friends may question your new discipline. Family may not understand your drive. Society may mock your standards. But you must never let the opinions of others dictate your future. Most people are trapped by their own small thinking, and when they see someone escaping, they will try to pull him back. Hold your vision tight. Protect it from the critics, from the doubters, from those who would settle for average and ask you to do the same. Your life is too precious to waste seeking approval from the crowd. Every great endeavor requires faith, a belief in something you cannot yet see. When you push yourself, you are making a declaration to the universe that you expect more, that you are worthy of more, that you will settle for nothing less than the full expression of your potential. This faith is not blind optimism, but the conviction that if you keep moving forward, keep learning, keep adjusting, then success must follow. Plant the seeds of faith each day. Water them with action. Over time, they will bear fruit. Now, let us address the concept of possibility itself. Everything you desire exists in potential within the field of your imagination. But imagination alone is not enough. You must bring your vision into the realm of the real through focused effort, through persistent repetition, through the courage to try, to fail, and to try again. Every invention, every business, every masterpiece began as a possibility in someone's mind. What made it real was not the idea, but the persistence to act on it day after day, regardless of difficulty, regardless of how long it took. You are not pushing against the world. You are pushing against the invisible boundaries you have accepted in your own thinking. Challenge them. Ask yourself, who told me this was impossible? Why have I accepted it? Whose limitations am I living under? When you question your assumptions, you open the door to new levels of possibility. Many have accomplished what was once thought impossible simply because they refused to accept the opinions of others as their reality. Finally, always return to gratitude. The man who appreciates his progress, who celebrates each step forward, who remains thankful for every opportunity to grow, he multiplies his power. Gratitude keeps you present, keeps you humble, keeps you hungry. It reminds you that each day is a gift, and that the only proper response is to use it fully. When you are grateful for what you have, you create space for more. When you focus on what you lack, you attract more of the same. Push yourself, yes, but do so from a place of joy, from a place of anticipation, from a belief that the best is always yet to come. Continue then with this mindset. You are not here to prove others wrong. You are here to prove yourself right. Each new challenge is an invitation to become more. Each day is a blank page, and you hold the pen. Write a story worthy of your potential. Push yourself, not because you must, but because you can. And in doing so, you will discover the ultimate truth. For the man who refuses to quit, everything is possible. When you arrive at the edge of your current abilities, most men retreat. They turn back, telling themselves they have gone far enough, that maybe the dream was too grand, that life is asking too much. But you, if you would truly push yourself until everything is possible, you must recognize this moment as the threshold of transformation, not the signal for surrender. Your mind will invent reasons to stop. Fatigue, boredom, discomfort, even fear of outgrowing those around you. Do not listen to that small voice, for it is the last defense of your old limitations. The world's most extraordinary achievements exist on the far side of that line. Step over it. The more you stretch yourself, the more you will encounter pain. Not the kind that injures, but the pain that reveals how much you've underutilized your own potential. This is not something to fear, but to welcome. When the bodybuilder's muscles burn, he smiles, knowing growth is happening. When the scholar's brain aches from study, he rejoices in the expansion of knowledge. The same is true for your character, your vision, your will. Every discomfort you endure for the sake of your purpose becomes a deposit in your bank of strength. The man who always chooses the easy road becomes weak, dependent, and ultimately resentful. But the man who embraces struggle becomes a master of himself, and soon a master of circumstances. Now let us examine the principle of creative persistence. Many men will begin with great enthusiasm, but enthusiasm is a spark, not a furnace. True progress is forged in the steady heat of persistent effort. Your mind must be trained to return again and again to your objective, regardless of obstacles, regardless of setbacks, regardless of discouragement. When your plans fail, and they will at times, see it not as a verdict, but as a lesson. Study your defeat, but do not dwell on it. Adapt, refine, improve. Each adjustment brings you closer to success. If you wish to accomplish what others deem impossible, you must also develop the rare quality of resilience. Life will test you, sometimes brutally. You will lose what you have built. You will be disappointed by others. You will be betrayed, misunderstood, and perhaps even abandoned. It is here, in these dark valleys, that you discover what you truly believe. Do you collapse, or do you stand? Do you curse fate, or do you seize control of your response? The world honors not the man who never falls, but the one who always rises. Each time you get back up, you increase your faith in yourself, and soon the world begins to believe in you too. Examine your associations. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they people who push you to grow, who hold you accountable to your highest standard, who celebrate your victories and challenge your excuses? Or are they voices of doubt, comfort, mediocrity, and complacency? You become the average of your environment. If you wish to live at a higher level, you must join those who think and act at a higher level. Seek mentors who have walked the path you desire. Study their habits, their decisions, their philosophies. When you walk with giants, you cannot help but adopt a giant's stride. Another secret to making everything possible lies in your willingness to set audacious, crystal clear goals. Vague wishes produce vague results. Decide exactly what you want, how you will live, what you will contribute, who you will become, and write it down. Study it every day. The subconscious mind, when given clear orders, works tirelessly to find solutions, open doors, and attract resources that the conscious mind alone cannot see. The world steps aside for the man who knows where he is going and will not be diverted. And remember, small goals produce small motivation. Dare to dream so boldly that you wake up excited and go to bed fulfilled by the effort. But do not confuse activity for progress. Many men exhaust themselves with endless motion, meetings, messages, noise, while never moving closer to their true mission. Ask yourself each day, is what I am doing moving me toward my purpose, or is it merely keeping me busy? Ruthlessly eliminate the non-essential. Focus your energy like sunlight through a magnifying glass. Burn away distraction, and soon you will set your ambitions ablaze. Simplicity is a force multiplier. Do less, but do it better. Mastery comes not from spreading yourself thin, but from drilling deep. Another critical lesson is this: you must learn to celebrate small wins. Every major accomplishment is built on the foundation of tiny victories accumulated daily. Did you complete your morning routine without compromise? Did you show up with integrity when it was easier to hide? Did you learn one new skill or idea that expanded your potential? These moments, though invisible to others, are the building blocks of greatness. Keep a record of your wins. Review them when doubt creeps in. Let your history of perseverance fuel your future persistence. Let us speak of the necessity of rest and recovery. Pushing yourself is not the same as running yourself into the ground. The man who never pauses to reflect, to rejuvenate, to renew, will soon find himself burnt out, his mind clouded, his vision blurred. Schedule time for solitude, for silence, for connection with nature or the people you love. True growth requires both effort and renewal. The seasons themselves teach this. After the labor of planting comes the stillness of waiting. Honor both. Above all, do not forget the role of imagination. The man who only pushes in the realm of what is already known, already proven, already accepted, will forever remain average. The truly great dare to envision a world that does not yet exist. They act on hunches, they experiment, they risk ridicule for the chance at greatness. Your imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. Feed it with books, with art, with the company of visionaries. Allow yourself to believe in what is not yet seen. The limits of your imagination are the boundaries of your possibility. As you continue, understand this truth. To push yourself until everything is possible is not a single act, but a way of being. It is the decision each day to do what you can with what you have, where you are, and to do it without excuse, without delay, without apology. It is the refusal to be defined by circumstances or to be limited by the opinions of others. It is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Every new level you reach will reveal new horizons. Every summit will reveal a higher peak. Keep climbing. The view gets better with each step. The air becomes clearer. The sense of possibility stronger. And as you rise, you inspire others to rise with you. This is the true legacy of a life pushed to its potential. Not just what you achieve, but who you become and what you awaken in those around you. Relentlessly pursue what is possible, and in doing so, you will redefine it for generations to come. The journey to make everything possible demands a level of self-mastery few are willing to embrace. By now, you should see that greatness is not won by a lucky few, but by those who relentlessly raise their standards. There comes a point when you must ask, how high are you willing to set the bar for yourself? Are you content with the comfort of average, or are you hungry enough to demand excellence in every corner of your life? The world will always offer 1,000 reasons to remain the same, to slow down, to compromise. But the man who understands that possibility expands only when he expands himself, will never be satisfied by excuses, and will not stop until he has extracted every ounce of ability from his being. Begin with your standards. Do not permit yourself to slip into the lazy thinking that mediocrity is unavoidable. Raise your expectations for your work, your health, your relationships, your character. Hold yourself to these standards even when no one is watching, even when applause is absent and criticism is abundant. That is the truest test of discipline. To live by your own code regardless of external validation. If you keep your promises to yourself, you become a man that others and the universe itself trusts to deliver on larger things. Every time you act with integrity in the small matters, you are building the character required for great responsibility. Consider your environment. If your surroundings pull you down, then you must transform them or remove yourself. Build a world that breathes ambition into you at every turn. Your workspace, your home, your digital world, even your thoughts must be curated with the intention of fueling your rise. Eliminate the clutter, silence the noise, refuse to allow negativity even a foothold. Your environment is a silent mentor, always shaping you in ways you do not see. Make sure it is shaping you for greatness. A clean, ordered, purposeful environment gives birth to clean, ordered, purposeful action. Revisit the power of routine. Men are not defined by what they do occasionally, but by what they do habitually. Construct your mornings to ignite your spirit. Fill your days with prioritized action. Let your evenings be a time of reflection, learning, and planning for the next ascent. Rituals are the rails on which your momentum runs. The most successful people in history have been ruthless about their habits, knowing that in moments of fatigue or weakness, discipline is not summoned from thin air, it is summoned from habit. Make your routine so strong that even on your weakest day, you do more than most do on their strongest. Self-talk is your silent steering wheel. Are you pushing yourself forward with your internal dialogue, or are you planting seeds of doubt, complaint, and comparison? Speak to yourself with the same clarity and power you wish to hear from the world. Affirm your ability, your resilience, your worthiness. Interrupt thoughts that question your mission with declarations of intent. Remind yourself every day that every great achievement in history was once an unproven possibility. If you allow your mind to default to negativity, it will chain you to your current results. If you train your mind to expect growth, the world will eventually yield to your expectations. Let's turn to your response to setbacks. The only people who do not experience failure are those who do not attempt the extraordinary. When adversity strikes, analyze it without emotion. Ask yourself, what is the lesson? How can I adjust? What must I do differently next time? View failure as a teacher, not a judge. Each setback is a stepping stone if you treat it as feedback, not defeat. If you study the biographies of the world's highest achievers, You will find that they failed often and spectacularly, yet each time they rose armed with new wisdom and an undiminished spirit. To push yourself further, become obsessed with growth. Never rest on what you already know. Read daily, study relentlessly, seek out those with more experience, and learn from them without ego. The world is in constant motion. New technologies, new discoveries, new perspectives are always emerging. If you do not make a conscious effort to evolve, you will be left behind. Learning is not just a phase for the young or the aspiring. It is the lifelong duty of anyone who seeks to remain relevant and powerful. There will be times when you are tempted to coast, to believe that you have done enough. This is the illusion that traps the talented and condemns the ambitious to stagnation. Celebrate your wins, yes, but do not linger there. The man who is satisfied with yesterday's progress is quietly declining. Each new day demands a new commitment to push the boundary further. Ask yourself, how can I improve today? What can I do that I have never done before? Which comfort zone can I shatter? In every area of life, progress is not a suggestion, it is a requirement. Understand the importance of giving. The man who climbs only for himself will soon find the peak lonely and his victories hollow. True fulfillment comes from using your strength to lift others. Share your knowledge, mentor those behind you, give generously of your time and resources. When you give, you expand your own possibilities because you align yourself with the laws of abundance. The world responds to generosity with opportunity. The greatest leaders are those who create more leaders, not more followers. Let's talk about health and energy. No dream can be realized in a body that is neglected. Treat your health as your greatest asset. Sleep deeply, move your body, fuel it with real food, and guard your energy as you would guard your fortune. The man who pushes himself physically learns to push himself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When your body is strong and vital, every task feels lighter, every challenge more surmountable. Invest in your health daily, and you will find reserves of strength you did not know you had. Time is your ultimate non-renewable resource. Spend it as the rich spend their money, with purpose, planning, and an insistence on return. Review your calendar with the eyes of a strategist. What activities move you forward? What is stealing your hours with little to show for it? Say no to the non-essential without guilt. Protect your focus as fiercely as you protect your dreams. At the end of your days, it is not the hours you spent that will matter, but what you accomplished with them. Finally, never lose faith in the power of persistence. There will be nights when you question whether any of it is worth it. Days when fatigue and doubt press heavy on your chest. You will see others take shortcuts, win by chance, or receive rewards they have not earned. Ignore it all. Persistence is the currency of achievement. With each day you continue, the odds tilt more in your favor. If you keep pushing, long after most have given up, you become the exception, and soon you become the example. Carry this message with you. You are the architect of what is possible. Every action, every thought, every word is either building the world you want or reinforcing the limitations you inherited. There is no finish line, only new horizons. Push yourself, not until you are tired, not until you have done more than others, but until you know in your soul that you have done everything possible. In that place, you will discover not only new levels of achievement, but a version of yourself you once thought impossible. That is the ultimate reward, and that is the legacy that endures. If you have walked with me this far, you have already begun to rise above the masses who abandon their dreams at the first sign of fatigue, who yield to distraction, who trade the extraordinary for the merely comfortable. Now let us go further, because the final lesson is this. Real possibility is found not in what you accomplish, but in who you become by refusing to stop. You must learn to turn pain into fuel, adversity into advantage, and every single obstacle into a reason to grow. The men and women who change the world are not those who had the fewest problems, but those who persisted until every problem became a stepping stone toward their purpose. True greatness begins when you train your mind to see no finish line, only new challenges to overcome and new victories to create. Many people search their whole lives for permission, waiting for a sign, an invitation, or external validation before they begin to push. But possibility is seized, not granted. It is the act of deciding today that you will pursue your vision not because it is easy or convenient, but because you have chosen to become the kind of person for whom success is a requirement, not a wish. You must decide, and then act, and then persist, until even your defeats become indistinguishable from progress. No one escapes doubt. You will be tempted to listen to those voices, both inside and outside yourself, that say you cannot, that you should slow down, that you are not worthy of the dream you pursue. These are the echoes of old fears and borrowed limitations. But remember, every time you defy them, you are writing new rules for your life. Doubt cannot survive in the mind of a man who acts. When you move, when you persist, when you force yourself to try one more time, to take one more step, you silence the chorus of critics, within and without. In the final analysis, life will ask you to choose between ease and expansion. If you want to live in the realm of possibility, you must choose expansion every time. You must force yourself to try what scares you, to seek out challenges that stretch your abilities, to embrace rejection, failure, and uncertainty as companions on the road to mastery. Comfort is the enemy of creation. When you begin to feel settled, bored, or finished, it is a signal to push further, not to rest. The horizon moves with you. Every time you cross a boundary, a new one appears. This is the nature of progress. It has no end. Let your goals always be just out of reach. When you arrive at a milestone, immediately ask, what next? Not out of dissatisfaction, but out of the knowledge that your potential is infinite. Your life will expand only to the measure of your vision and your willingness to pursue it. Refuse to be limited by the opinions of others, the failures of yesterday, or the limitations of your environment. Seek only the standards you set for yourself, and always raise them. If you find yourself surrounded by people who scoff at your ambition, remember that they are only revealing the ceiling of their own imagination, not yours. Adversity is the forger of destiny. When you are tested, when life throws setbacks, loss, and unexpected pain into your path, respond not with resentment, but with resolve. See every difficulty as a call to become more. Most men shrink in the face of hardship. The exceptional see it as the very material of greatness. Ask yourself, what quality is life demanding of me now? And then develop it. Every defeat is an invitation to develop new skills, greater patience, deeper faith, and a more powerful will. Accept this invitation with gratitude, knowing that each new trial is making you stronger, wiser, and more capable. Never forget the compound effect of persistence. One day of effort, 1 week of determination, even a year of striving is not enough to make the impossible possible. It is the quiet, unseen, relentless push, year after year, that creates the results that seem miraculous to others. Champions are not made by one great leap, but by 1,000 small victories. They get up when others stay down. They finish what they start. They are moved not by applause, but by the inner satisfaction of doing what most refuse to attempt. Guard your mind as you would guard a treasure. Feed it only with that which serves your mission: books, mentors, conversations, experiences that expand your thinking and fuel your desire. Distance yourself from the small thinkers, the pessimists, the critics, and the cynics who infect your vision with doubt. Surround yourself with those who push you, who challenge you, who force you to become better than you were yesterday. The environment you build around your mind becomes the environment you create for your life. Give as much as you take. Success that is hoarded withers. Success that is shared multiplies. Use your lessons, your victories, your story to lift others. Show them what is possible, not just by your words, but by the standard of your life. When you push yourself until everything is possible, you give others permission to do the same. You become a beacon, a living proof that the boundaries of circumstance, upbringing, or education can be broken. Do not allow yourself to become stagnant. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. Progress is the price of admission to the highest levels of achievement. Each day, make it your aim to become just a little bit better, to learn something new, to stretch a little further, to help someone else climb. Review your progress nightly. Ask yourself, did I push myself further today than yesterday? If the answer is no, adjust. If yes, celebrate and prepare to raise the bar again. Lastly, understand that all possibility begins and ends with belief. You must be the first and loudest believer in your own vision. Others will doubt, they will mock, they will misunderstand. Let them. Your belief is not for their comfort, but for your own liberation. Nurture it, guard it, feed it with action, and let it become the most immovable force in your world. A man who truly believes in his ability to push himself beyond all previous limits is a man who cannot be stopped. So here is my charge to you. Refuse to settle. Refuse to quit. Refuse to be satisfied with what is. Push yourself again and again until the world yields to the pressure of your persistence, your preparation, and your unbreakable will. The boundaries of your life are not fixed. They are waiting to be moved by your courage. When you look back, let it be with pride, knowing you squeezed every ounce of possibility from your days. This is the real magic. This is the secret the timid never discover. You are not here to test the limits, you are here to shatter them. And when you do, you will find that everything truly is possible.